Hi, class. My name is Andrew Halverson, and I'm going to be your instructor and working with you over the next 8 weeks. I want to do a quick overview of the class, but before we do that, let me share a little bit about myself. I'm coming to you from South Louisiana, from the heart of Cajun country. And if you don't know where that is, go to the Gulf Coast and find Houston and New Orleans and go right in the middle between those two along I-10, and you'll get to my hometown of Lafayette, Louisiana. I've been married for over 20 years to my wonderful wife. We've been together since college. We have two not so little boys anymore, growing to be teenagers now. And the dogs outnumber the children. We have three Shih Tzus. Um, a little bit more about me is I have, for many years, I was a sort of a math and science geek. I was doing my graduate studies in mathematics, and I decided to switch gears and become a lawyer. And I've been practicing law for the last 20 years. Graduated from LSU, go Tigers. And I practice mainly in the area of employment litigation and employment advice and counsel. So anything that arises in the employment context, I would be doing that. So let's switch over and talk a little bit about the course. Some of the what is this course about? Some of the expectations as we head into the first week. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up the screen here. This is the landing page, and I encourage you to read everything naturally. But what are we doing here in this class? This is ORG 300, applying leadership principles. Leadership principles is something that you can use in any career, any industry, any position as well, from entry level all the way to C-suite, obviously. I've found it to be very helpful in my mathematics side of things, particularly as a teacher. If I'm going to effectively communicate ideas and concepts to students, I need to be able to convey that information. And I'm sure you can understand as a lawyer when I'm having to advise and counsel clients, when I'm having to speak to judges and juries, I need to be able to not only communicate, I need to be able to persuade and help them understand the information I'm conveying in a very clear and concise manner, as well as a very quick manner too. So that's some of the skills we're going to be learning here in this course, and you're going to get an opportunity to practice some of those skills along the way. Now, as you start out here, you see along the left-hand side of the screen, syllabus, modules, discussions. I encourage you to click through all of that. Navigate, explore, particularly if this is your first time in an online class. A lot of this is going to be new. You got all the information presented to you. Take some time, navigate, play around, click on things, see what everything does and where everything is. That's going to help familiarize yourself with the course very quickly. But one of the first things I want you to do is go over to the syllabus. Think of the syllabus, not to be too much of a lawyer for you, but think of it as kind of like a contract for the course. You're going to get an understanding of what the course is about, notably a course description and some of the learning outcomes here. And let me stop there. The learning outcomes in our course, right down in this section, will be, learning how to apply time management principles, how to practice ethical communication, as well as explain responsibilities of leaders professionally. And then the final two there, recognizing the differences between leadership and management, as well as present and prepare written and oral presentations. So some of the major skills you're going to learn through the course over the next 8 weeks. Once you've reviewed the syllabus, and you're going to see also some of the I'm sorry, sort of some of the deliverables throughout the course, start honing in on the nuts and bolts of the course and navigate to the module side of things. And you're going to see it broken down into different sections. You're going to see course information here. I encourage you to read through that because it has the getting started um, section. And let's go ahead and click on that so you can see what that looks like. But you're going to see things about, tech support. You're going to see things about things that you can expect of me in terms of grading and responsiveness. And for those of you who may need accommodations, you have disability services right there where you can get in touch with them and start exploring that if you need. Other things, you want to be sure that you review the student policies. And there's a host of student policies here that'll link right to, notably academic expectation policies, financial aid if that's important, if that's needed for you, and then a whole host of other things as well. So make sure you familiarize yourself with these resources here because they're useful to you in this class, every class afterwards. Once you finish the course information part of this section, go ahead and dive on into the Module 1 section, and that's going to be the first week's material. You're going to have an introduction forum where you're going to share a little bit about yourself and you're going to learn a bit about your classmates. Then you're going to have the overview lessons, where that's actually kind of like the lecture for the first week. And then you're going to have another discussion forum where you're actually going to work with the content, share some insights into your learning for the week, and then you're going to finish up with an assignment, what we call a critical thinking assignment. That's kind of the larger written assignment for the week. Want to end on a final note here about due dates. Make sure that you're familiar with the due dates of our course. Discussion boards have two due dates. Your initial discussion response needs to be submitted by Thursday evening, 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. And then on Sunday, your peer responses are going to be due, responses to your classmates' posts. And then also on Sunday evening, that's when your critical thinking assignment is going to be due. And quick note, this is a little different for me too. Make sure that you are aware that the deadlines are keyed towards the Mountain Time Zone. I'm in Central Time Zone, so I'm an hour ahead. If you're in Eastern Time Zone, that means you're 2 hours ahead. Whereas if you're in Pacific Time Zone, you're an hour behind. So make sure you orient yourself to the Mountain Time Zone in terms of due dates. It's easy to miss and overlook, and I don't want you to do that. Let me take this off. So I look forward to working with you over the next 8 weeks. Questions will pop up, and I'm available to help out however I can, whenever you need. Don't hesitate to get me involved. The only bad question is the question you don't ask. I want to help you out. My goal is to see you succeed, and I will do everything I can to make that happen. Good chatting with you. Look forward to connecting with you in the first week's discussion forum. Have a good night. Bye bye.